Hey, it's Enrico Pallazzo!
Utah, give me 2.
Pallazzo!
Actually, I stole this shirt from Frank.
That's all right. Utah, give me 2. What's up, everybody? We're here live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter X as well, with Mike Virginia and myself. The 2 mics today. Britton's on location doing his annual spring break. Good friend. Shout out to my friend Mike, who used to love yelling that every spring break season. Spring break! That's for you, Mike. There you go. Not you, Mike, but that guy. There's a lot of Mikes in the world, frankly.
Do you still have the Rumsfeld button?
Oh, yeah. Sure do. I got again, shout out to Jake Hallisker from Cleveland, Rotosaurus, and a really good player in his own right. He sent me a text about it. He was so happy about the Rumsfeld drop. So, you like the Burbs, Mike? I mean, you got to. I know you did.
Of course.
Love the Burbs. If you didn't know what the Burbs is, folks, there's a new show apparently out now that is like a remake of the Burbs, which I'm skeptical of, but I will probably check it out. But yeah, I got the drop. So what's going on today, Mike? How you feeling?
Yo, Rumsfeld!
Oh man, I love that drop. I'm doing well, man. Grinding through TGFBI. I'm also in another slow draft, the Fantasy six pack on Fantrax, and I'm also doing a Dynasty mock as well. So I'm in 3 drafts currently, and then the third Mike Virginia Invitational draft is today at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is not a head-to-head categories. I gave it back to you, the people. The people wanted to see more of a Roto League. So today's draft is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5x5 Roto on Yahoo, 12 teams.
5x5 Roto.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, dude.
I know it's not your preference, right? But you're growing. You're expanding your horizons.
And we give it back to you, the people.
That's right. I gave it back to the people. So, and then I have another one. My home league draft is next weekend, which I've been prepping really hard for on that one as well. A lot of shit talking in this league. So I got to take it home this year, Gov.
Wow, dude.
Wow,
You got to
dude.
be careful. You got to watch out for that. Those shit talking can get you caught up. You don't want to make a mistake. Focus on the draft. Don't let those guys get in your head, okay?
I got to check myself before I indeed wreck myself.
So you better run a check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's a problem of motivation, but not in this case. We love draft season. We're so excited. Sometimes you don't feel like going to work on Monday, but
it is. I know. I was just literally thinking that on Friday. I'm like, God, I have so many drafts coming up. Like one of these days, I'm just gonna take a Monday off and just like.
It's a problem of motivation. All right.
It is.
I'm gonna look at my teams. How's your TGFBI team looking?
Not bad. We're going to talk about that. I got 4 drafts going on right now, and I am in the Fantasy 6-pack series, in case you didn't know.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I missed the deadline, but I talked to Joe. Shout out to Joe Bond, who's a good dude. I like him thoroughly. You're the man, Joe. And I asked him if I could get in. He's like, well, I put you on the wait list because people flake out. And what do you know? First day on Wednesday, somebody flaked out. They took Tarek Skubal, their first pick, so I didn't get to make that pick, but that's okay. I got Tarek Skubal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I've jumped in since then. So, yeah, I'm in that draft as well. We could talk about that. Angelo's here. Yo! What's up, Angelo? Live chatting. Bizza, our Crazy. Old pal. What's up, Bizza? 15 leagues, 10 on NFBC and 5 on Yahoo. I have a problem. Yeah, but how many of those are fab or waivers? Are they just best balls or drafting holds? That does matter, right? Oh, Birch McCallum. Hello, Birch McCallum. Are you a newcomer? I don't recognize this handle. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Mike Virginia and your pal Govier live. MJ, why can't we be friends? The band, a War of the Band reference or a War pitching stat reference? You're right. I don't have that one. I need to add it. I do love Dazed and Confused. Great soundtrack, by the way. All right, let's get into.
Is he talking about your white, the white bubble on your underneath your name? The why can't we be friends?
I think that's why, yeah.
Okay.
You're paying attention too, Birch. You're reading this. Are we on Twitter? It looks like our number's a little low right now. I don't know what's going on over there. It says we're live, and then every time we go on StreamYard side of things, it says check Twitter X. There's been problems, but
yeah,
there we are. There's Mike Virginia. I see you. Yep, you're live. I'm live. Palazzo's live. Okay, whatever. Let's get into the business time here. Fire that up real quick. Mike, why don't you kick it off here? Why don't you tell us what's going on in your world? What do we need to know, et cetera, et cetera? We got jersey giveaway, all types of ill shit, if you will.
Ill shit is the right word for sure. For those of you guys who are new or checking us out the first time on YouTube or listening to us on Apple or Spotify, we would greatly appreciate a subscribe, a like, a review. We haven't talked about that in a while either.
No, never.
We're
the worst.
Yeah, we should really appreciate a 5-star review on all of your major platforms for podcast. It really does help out the show. Give us a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate it. And of course, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It does help. A couple other things as well. Want to give a shout out. Hit the shout button for me if you could. Next Friday, Fantasy Friends Friday, myself and Marty Tallman will be talking sleepers, busts, and targets as well. Really good dude in the space. Always love talking to Marty. Him and I will be talking next Friday, so make sure you guys tune into that. As I've said throughout all of draft season, make sure you guys go to my Twitter page. It's the pinned tweet at the top. It is your chance to enter to win a free MLB jersey. It is the second annual time I'm doing this. I literally will ship it to your house. It couldn't be easier. All you have to do is follow Pallazzo on Twitter, myself, like and retweet, and then again check us out on Bozo Fest, which is our pre-opening day show. It is a lot of fun. If you guys haven't checked it out, a lot of the industry folks will be coming. Gov, it's only a couple weeks away, man. Like, I know. It's coming up.
My God, why? Oh, I can never play this when Britton's here, so I'm gonna hit this button because he hates this button. But since he's not here,
you have a got to.
It's like he had autism. Maybe he's autistic. Like he could not handle it.
Yeah. I love it button. But yeah, so make sure you guys do that. Obviously, get in the Discord. We're open. We're live 24th.
That's on the 25th, though, right? So we decided because there is one game on Wednesday, but I'm not going to let that. No. All the action's on Thursday, so we want to be there on the eve of the big day of action. So technically, it's opening night on Wednesday, the 25th, but we'll be live during that game, doing the show all night.
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to it. Even before I was a host on this show, Govier, I always tuned in. I loved that show, still do, and I love being a part of it now. So make sure you guys tune into that. Mark your calendars, literally write it on your calendar, right, and circle it because it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's a great chance to get in to the live chat, call your shots, who's going to win the World Series, who's this year's Nick Kurtz, whatever you want to talk about, get in there. A lot of fun.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yep.
Right. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Steve Evangelista over on Blue Sky. Yeah, believe it or not, sometimes you actually connect with people over there. I haven't had a lot of connections so far, but I'm never on there. I admit it. I only post a show to let people know we're going live. Social media is disease. It really is, folks. I mean, if you want to really get into the bullshit of this, we can, and we are going to actually momentarily talk a little bit about that some more. But I want to thank Steve. He had a reference to Total Recall, one of my favorite movies, unprompted. So immediately I fell in love with this guy. Steve, thanks for supporting the show over on Blue Sky. Appreciate you. And all the new YouTube subscribers who have joined up. We thank you so much. We're at 1210. That's fantastic. We're at 1200, and it's thanks to you. Now, we only get to people who are showing their profile live, so we don't know. There might be others who are hiding in secret. And for those lurkers, Mike, you ever lurked? I mean, there's probably a few shows you lurk on that maybe you don't jump in on. I know I do. There's some channels I lurk. I don't always, but since I started doing the show years ago, I've been really more cognizant of liking and subscribing to channels because it really helps. So I try to avoid lurking as best I can.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've ever lurked on YouTube. When I do go to a YouTube show, it's because they're streaming on Twitter as well. And then I pop over to the YouTube channel to say what's up or to subscribe or to check out their content.
Your face and point out your fault.
Wow.
I don't think I have a lot of I'm not subscribed to a lot of channels either, but when I do, I always subscribe because to your point, I like showing other people love. So mainly fantasy football season, I do that.
Okay. Soup Carrots. Hello, Soup Carrots. Again, a new handle I don't recognize. Welcome. I fucking hate cooked carrots. I really do. You got to know this about me. I love a raw carrot. It's delicious. It really is delicious. Raw, crispy, but a cooked carrot. My stepmom forced me to eat cooked carrots in the pot roast when I was young. Again, another story. I was just telling another story about my childhood. We're learning a lot today.
Yeah.
It was good. It had cooked carrots, whole potatoes, pot roast Sunday. You know the deal. They're very.
Yeah.
At my mom's house, we never ate dinner together. At my dad's on the weekends, we would. So They forced those cooked carrots down my throat. I told them I didn't like them, and I puked them up on the plate. I did.
Ooh. Oof.
I've never forgotten that feeling. I hate that shit. I don't like cooked carrots to this day. Please get me on the record, okay? Thank you.
Lock it in.
I will. I also got faults.
We're gonna get all in your face and point out your faults.
But thank you for being here. Yeah, Fifth Element, low key, best sci-fi film of the 90s. I don't disagree with that, actually. If we had a list, I'd have to put it in order, but I love The Fifth Element.
That's the one with Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mia Jovovich with you've seen this, I'm sure, Halloween season. A lot of girls put on that outfit. Very skinny.
Chris Tucker, I believe, is in that movie, which is brand new.
Yes. Ruby Rod Radio.
Yo, Rumsfeld!
It's not Rumsfeld, but still, I love that shit. Fifth Element is a classic. I love getting feedback from anybody on the show like that. Thank you for being here. Even though cooked carrots, I'm getting depressed right now. I'm really thinking about it. I'm getting bummed out. And I think I'm going to leave the show, actually, guys. I'm sorry. Bye. All right. So right before we get to leading off, you guys got to jump in here real quick. So Timothy, our old pal, Timmy, 16-team Dynasty Cats. I got Acuna, Catal, Vinny P, Seager, Adames, Machado, Snell, Reagans, Yuri.
Cool.
Is that a question?
Nice job.
Well done. I mean, shit.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I mean, Snell is up in the air right now. Snell is on all the draft boards, just sitting there. Every drafted man, he just keeps sitting there.
Yeah.
But
I think there is a point in drafts where you can take him, but at cost, like he's a big fade for me. Like 4 rounds, I'd have to go after him. So
okay,
3 or 4 rounds.
Andrew Abbott just named opening day red starter.
Weird.
I am not buying that. Last year was wild. He could be a really good command control pitcher who keeps a low whip. Maybe I'm not buying it. I'm not willing to take the ticket in round 2 this year. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. I got something to rival your water cannon.
Yeah, all right. Woo!
Yo, Rumsfeld!
All right.
We're well hydrated on this show, everybody. I always got to
The
keep
most
water.
hydrated show in fantasy baseball, bar none.
Yeah, lock it in.
Yeah, right. That's fun. Cheers to you, Mike. Merrill, we
I think
they're having their own conversation.
Merrill went 8 picks ahead of Duran in our league, is what he's saying.
Oh, is this the league you're in, or is he talking to someone else?
No, I'm just
okay, great.
Piecing it.
Oh, Timmy says, look above. Here it is. What's up, gents? I missed the first part. Need some $1 to $3 dart throws because he's got all those guys. So I had my first ever auction, kind of got out of hand on the first wave, kind of got going into the stars and scrubs territory, locked up 9 guys, $242 out of a $300 budget is gone.
Well, Tim, I know this is kind of a lame answer, dude, but it'd be interested to know who is left in your draft so we can kind of provide that for you. Otherwise, we're just picking out of a vast pool, man. So it's almost impossible to give you an answer to that.
I love Tim, but he knows better than that. He does. Yeah. So give us a few names you're looking at or that you think might be worth it. We'd love to give you feedback. Just because while we're doing a live show, it's hard to stop and be like, you're right. Okay, here's the whole pool. We got the whole pool in our head. I don't think we do. No. And then Birch says, last year, if you had magically seen your Savage's rise coming, would you have drafted him at the start? No.
Yeah. He didn't start pitching in games until the last 10% of the season, 15% of the season. So he would have been burning a roster spot if you drafted him.
This is in reference to his love for Carlos LaGrange, who's throwing smoke for the Yankees.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a part of that rotation yet, just because, I know they have Rodon and Cole who are coming back from injuries and they're not going to start in the rotation this year. But even then, I don't know if he finds his way into the rotation. You got guys like Will Warren, Cam Schlittler, the Schlitz, Luis Heel.
Great job.
There's a lot of guys in that rotation. Max Fried, obviously. So there's a lot of guys in there. I hope he does. He's a fun dart throw.
Yeah. In a 15-man slow draft, I went Merrill over Durant at pick 75. Did I make the right choice out of the two? I think you did, but that's just me.
I'm going to go that you didn't. I'm not big on Jackson Merrill this year. I love Jarren Duran as well, but I need to see it from Jackson Merrill first. I think you get a proven commodity with Duran. Even though there's some news out there that he might sit against some lefties, I don't believe that for a second. So I actually like Boston's lineup this year. I think Duran gets closer to the 2024 numbers than we did see him in the 2025 numbers. But even 2025 was a good stat line.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
man,
Thank you, Jesus.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought you would change your mind on him. So
I did.
Wow, dude.
Speaking of changing minds, which we reserve the right to do this, and I think this is an important part of fantasy baseball, folks. I did change my mind, Gov. I have shifted.
Okay. Live update, folks.
Yeah, and
Great
you'll
job.
appreciate this one. I have taken Austin Riley out of my do not draft territory, and I have firmly put him in my target territory. So I'm back in on Austin Riley.
You listen to reason, Mike. You are a wise man. Good for you. We can admit when we're wrong.
Yep, going back in and looking at it, I believe in the talent. I believe in the lineup. He's off to a good start to spring training, which is obviously good to see as well. But and even looking at his metrics, Gov, when I was doing some draft prep, even in his down season last year and when he was hurt, his underlying metrics under the hood, per se, like everybody likes to use, still rather tight, right? A lot of red. So I don't see a reason if he's healthy not to be in on Riley at current cost. So especially with the state of third base, I have vastly changed my mind. So
Okay. Man, I love that. Good for you, Mike. Way to take it, make an adjustment, and show people how to grow. That's what it's all about. Tim says, I need super deep sleepers, TJ Rumfield style.
Yo, Rumsfeld!
You're right. Yeah, we're all pro TJ Rumfield. We're always a Coors podcast, aren't we? Let's get into leading off. We'll talk more about that crap. All right. We always give you a fresh catch of the day.
Good at what? Sitting on ass?
That is not the catch of the day. I'm so sorry.
that's a good button, though.
Our first catch of the day.
That is a good button. There's so many buttons, it's hard to get to them all. Trying to trigger Mike with this one in our slow draft. We were in round 10 still. Yeah. Our TGFBI is we're in round 13. We've been doing this for almost a week.
Yeah, I think we're in round 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. So it's not so bad then. All right. Well, I wanted to comment. Last week, Friday, we had some intense shenanigans on Twitter. Not my first rodeo. I've seen this shit time and time again over the years. There's an argument involving, Nestico and his stats sheets, and then Pitcherless unveiled a brand new Pitcherless stats, which hit like 100,000 subscribers in one day or 100,000 follows on Twitter.
Really cool.
Yeah, they said it was all organic. It's definitely fair to wonder about that. I mean, Pitcherless is very popular, but in one day to see a baseball Twitter blow up like that in one day is it's stunning. It was absolutely stunning. So, but I believe Nick. He said, I listened to what he said, but Nick also, I was at work on Thursday, right, last week, and I just kind of jumped in because I saw Mike Curlin was pissed at Nestico, like he had plagiarized his work, right? And I just did a tweet like, I support Curlin. Unfollow this guy, and I didn't even look at it. And then I totally admitted it too. I'm going to tell you, when I'm working all day, I got 9 clients, 9 hours. That's a long freaking day. And I just jumped in and said, yeah, I support Curlin because I like Mike. Mike is a friend of mine. He has been and always will be, and he's not a liar. So I just jumped in, and then it was kind of reinforced after the fact by my other buddy on text offline that, this is there's some legitimacy to this. So I didn't know what to make of it all. In the end, I just went back to bed.
Yeah. I was I asked Mike that question on Twitter because I just saw so much. I've seen from a lot of different creators, and I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to do that here. But just in terms of I feel like a lot of people were shitting on him, and I didn't know why. So I asked Mike, "What's going on?" I haven't seen this, and then he told me about it, and then I don't know if it spiraled from there or whatnot. But I do want to make a note or a point. While I am never for stealing somebody's work or at least not giving them credit where credit's due, I obviously think that's important, right?
It's just close to home for you, buddy.
Yeah, it does. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But you and I have had this conversation before offline, Gove. The market for fantasy baseball is so saturated, right? There's so many content creators. There's so many people try to make a name for themselves, including us, when we're a podcast that's not sponsored. We don't have, an ESPN or a CBS backing us or one of those other fantasy sites. So it makes it a little harder. Everyone's trying to gain ground in the space. So there's a lot of people competing. There's only so much that you can go back to. We point out advanced stats, advanced analytics. If you're doing notes, if you're doing podcasts, if you're doing spring training notes, whatever it may be. There's only so much, right? And there's so many of us that it overlaps to a certain extent, right? Now, I want to make a big caveat on this because I will get probably blown up for this in the chat. I do think it's important to give people their roses and their flowers when you find an inspiration for that work that you're doing. So it would have been maybe good for TJ to say, hey, big shout out to Mike, big inspiration. This is why I'm doing this, or whomever it may be. I started doing my notes a long time ago, and shout out, this is an old school. When I was MKB Fantasy, I don't remember if you remember that.
I do remember that. Yes, yeah. I do. Wow.
Before I was on Pallazzo, I started doing my own notes thread, and that was due to Micah. And again, not here to mention names. I got called out for copying the same style, right? And for me, it wasn't about that. Should I have given maybe some of my own flowers to Micah at that time? Of course, right? And I have been on record of doing that multiple times since then. But I also took that and kind of made my own spin with it, my own segments, my own bits, whatever it may be. It was a way for me to get involved in the space and how I got first started into this space, because I didn't want to write articles. I was new to podcasting. Or I was actually not even new to it. I just have never done one. So I was like, hey, how's a way that I can kind of break ground in this? Well, this seems easy and something that I can do. And I had somebody who was upset by it, and rightfully so. There's nothing I could do to change his mind.
Nope.
And that is what it is, right? But all of this stuff has been done before. Do I think it's also good to publicly shame people on Twitter for doing something that they love? Of course not. And something I made a tweet about the other day as well. The reason why I got into this space, and I think fantasy baseball is very unique because it is so supportive, and everyone was in the beginning was retweeting each other's work. Make sure you check out this guy. Make sure you do this, whatever it may be. That's why I loved it comparatively to fantasy football. I'm a big baseball guy. I always will be. I love fantasy baseball. It's one of my favorite things on this earth. And especially on Twitter, it has become extremely competitive and extremely argumentative and punitive, which doesn't make for a good spot. So, like I said, I think everybody should get their credit for what they're doing, but at the same time too, I want us all to play along in the same sandbox and have fun, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. This world is fucked up as it is. I just want to play fantasy baseball and have fun with my friends. So that's all I wanted to say on that.
Somebody's knocking at my door. This never happens. We live in a condo on the 6th floor. It's not like people walk by.
Do you want to grab it?
Yeah, I'm going to grab it real quick.
Yeah,
just keep talking.
I got it. Yeah. So for those of you guys who are thinking about getting involved in the fantasy baseball space, don't think that you have to come up with something ultra creative that nobody's done. If you want to pull from multiple people, that's totally fine. So I'm not sure how everybody else feels about it. I may have a unique take comparatively to some of the other people who are upset, and rightfully so. If you spend a lot of time doing something and somebody just blatantly copies it, that's obviously a crappy feeling. But in my unique situation, when I started doing my notes thread, I had an individual who was upset. We got into this huge DM battle, and there's nothing I could have done to change his mind. And that's fine. We don't have to agree. He doesn't have to like me. He doesn't have to whatever. At the end of the day, we're both content creators. I have a following. Other people have followings. But at the same time, too, I want us to all be able to get along and respect each other and enjoy the game that brought us all together, which is fantasy baseball. So,
Is it Sheldon from Big Bang at the Govier door? No, it was not. It was an old man across the hall who slid an envelope under our door. Very exciting. That scares me. When I see an envelope slid under my door, I freak out. That's my initial. That says a lot about me. Like,
really?
What is this?
What do you think it is? Like you're getting served?
Yeah, like you guys are too loud. You're getting evicted. I don't know.
There's too much soundboard going on in that room. What's going on?
Yeah, it was just some thing for Leanne. She's not here. Anyways,
yeah.
Look, Mike, you're a classy guy. I'm not as classy. I'm a little bit more straight to the dope. We're all going to die one day, so it doesn't matter what we say now. That's kind of my philosophy, and I keep that in my mind. Reminds me, you can cause less headaches by being more diplomatic, and you would make it a great ambassador. I really believe that. But you're not also ignoring. You're not pussyfooting around either. You're not. You're talking. You're keeping it real. But this show was founded on honesty and truth. And, we used to do a lot more stuff related to what was going on. I used to care so much about what was going on in the fantasy baseball realm, because when I got into it, I wanted to connect with everybody. And, hey, I knew this. I knew every show, and I knew all the gossip and everything that was going on 24/7. That is a while ago. I have totally disconnected from that. When Elon bought Twitter, it just ruined it for me. It has. That stain has never gone away, unfortunately, for me. It has totally changed. Before he bought it, people could just DM you out of nowhere, people who didn't know.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of great conversations with people who had some serious shit going on, and it was very good stuff. And I was grateful for that. And Twitter is what you make of it. Just like any social media is what you make of it. But it's also a poison. And we're adults, though, so we can make better decisions, but we're all still addicted. And some of these people are extremely addicted. And I know it because I see it. And I've learned a lot more about the brain and psychology in the last 7 to 8 years. And just seeing it from this perspective has changed it a lot for me. And I know that getting into a Twitter beef is just pointless. It's just totally
it really
pointless.
is, man. You're right.
I know it in my heart. So when like I tweet something and then I retweeted that I wasn't paying attention, I admit that freely because it's the truth. You know. So I want people to have a good time. I want people to connect. But the underbelly of fantasy baseball, like you said, is very competitive. So let's cut the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's cut the shit. There are people who want to dominate this space. They want to be number one. They want to be looked at as the almighty. I reign on high over the entire realm of fantasy baseball. That shit's going down too. And it's nasty. And we don't like to talk about it because we want to be friendly too, which I do. I want to connect with people and have good times noodle salad. So that's the battle we face. Competition versus trying to be friendly and hopeful and joyful all at once. That's a complicated mix.
And here's my thing with it. I totally agree with everything you just said, but here's my thing with it as well. I think there's a right way and a wrong way to go about doing things, and just publicly shaming people and acting like 13-year-old girls is, and I'm not calling anybody out by any means necessary. Everybody can do their own thing. I just personally don't agree with that take. If I have a problem with somebody, I'll DM them on the side, and I never have.
Yes.
You know, I've had people I've had people come at me like, you know, Zach Waxman's a good example, right? Like he's a little rough around the edges and a lot of people don't like him. I've never taken anything Zach said as super serious. I've never met him. But there's a lot of people in that space as well. But again, just publicly shaming people. And this is a game at the end of the day. It's a child's game, folks. There's a round stick a round stick and a round ball that people are trying to hit and we're analyzing it. So everyone just calm down, relax, like Aaron Rodgers likes to say.
F, there you go. You don't like Mike Cullen? He's a delusional crybaby, says F. You're allowed to express your opinion on this show. That's your opinion. I like Mike. Mike was always good to me. The first time I came in here, we did a podcast together right away. He didn't know me from Adam. So I'm biased. I like Mike. And Mike is intense, though. Mike just wants to do good work. And he's also got a big, healthy career here. He's, the Athletic and all this stuff he's done. He's got a lot of followers. People love him. So good for Mike. You don't like him. That's fine. Imagine if they acted like this on OnlyFans. Yeah, that's a good point, Anthony. I don't know how that would go. F says, analysts are reinventing physics in order to justify Strider not good. Okay, now we're getting back to baseball. And Uncle Ted says, Waxman is a good dude. He is.
Agreed.
Curlin is cool. There we go. Thank you, Uncle T.
If you don't know Zach, and for those of you guys maybe who get it, he's, and I've learned this about him. I don't know him from in personal. I'm just going off of the stuff with Twitter. He can come off very abrasive, but he means well. And he's just trying to have a good time. And some people don't like that. But I've gotten
to call shit out, though.
Yeah, and I understand his style now. I don't take any of it personally. He was just busting my balls the other day about TGFBI last year, and I sat Acuna all year. So,
which is funny. That's funny shit. Yeah. Zach did that video last week of the American Psycho scene where they all show their business cards, and each one is a different player card from Pitcher List, Nestico, all these people. Statcast. Statcast's already doing it in the beginning. People are allowed to do their own interpretations. And it's up to you, in the end, the viewer and the listener, to decide what is good and what is shit.
Correct.
Isn't it? Or
that's correct.
Does popularity also imply that it's good? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of know, actually. If I look at it and see it, I know.
Right. I just want to. I hate drama, dude. At the end of the day, I just don't like dealing with.
I know
bullshit. So if that constitutes me as a good, I do. I agree. But if that constitutes me as a good guy, of being drama free, then so be it. But I got enough going on in my life. This is the last thing I want to be dealing with Twitter beefs and arguments and shit like that. So
that's the retweet I wanted to do that I didn't do that night. I was like, I could have said, all the shit I dealt with at work that day over those 9 hours. This shit pales in comparison to all those things that were going on in people's lives. So that's the perspective I have. I got an awesome perspective. I do. Because I always see the big picture now. I don't get caught up in micro moments, which is also part of maturity. You know, I'm 45. I would like to think I have grown to that point now.
Yeah.
Right.
And can I say something really quick to keep beating a dead horse? Because I do want to get into the meat of the show. That's why I gravitated towards this show before I became into a content creator. And you know, again, for me, I gravitated towards Pallazzo and you as a content creator because of how light you kept it, and how fun and entertaining you kept it. And I think that's what makes Pallazzo fun and entertaining comparatively to other shows. And yes, I am biased, but we don't take anything too seriously around here. We like to have fun. That's what I appreciate about Govier and Britton, and anybody on our show, right? I think there's a space where we get very analytical, but there's also times where we quote movies and have fun, and that's what life's about, man. So I think Pallazzo's number one for that reason.
Well, the last thing I'll say in that is that we also, I also talk directly about stuff, and we have a lot of fun, even in the early days, but I was talking directly about the truth of what's going on. I never shy away from reality. So I love that we're fun and have a good time. Like I said, we're entertaining and informative simultaneously. So there you go. All right, we'll cut the shit. We got to get into the meat of the show, but we've got to talk about some drafts here. Like I said, so I'm in the Fantasy Six Pack series along with you, which is put on by Fantasy Six Pack, who are good people. Like I said, shout out to Joe Bond. Make sure you follow Joe Bond on Twitter. I don't know anybody else over there off the top of my head. If you do, go ahead. Is it mostly Joe, or is it?
No, sorry, I'm blanking on it. Dave Whitcomb, who wants come on our show at some point.
Oh,
so,
great! Shout out to Dave.
Good dude. And Dave, I promise we'll get you on, man. I know he's been looking to join us. So
he's been jonesing.
I told him we'd invite him for sure to Bozo Fest. So
Star says, I like the interaction on your show. Well, Star, you've been here since 2021, so we appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
you got bona fides, don't you? Right? All right. So the Fantasy Six Pack is OBP instead of average, and it's been a lot of fun. We're in round 18 now. What round are you in? Do you know?
We're way late. I can't remember where we're at. I can pull it up. We are in. Oh, never mind. I thought we're in round 14.
Oh, round 14. Good job. Yeah. So this is fun. It's also an interesting thing. They do saves plus holds, and they do 5-inning quality starts, essentially. Is what the category is. Yeah. So it says Jorge Moreno here. I'm in the middle. They can't change the name till the draft is over. So that was the guy who started it. Sorry, Jorge. But yeah, I took Scooble. Whoa, someone just drafted. With Churio and Olsen and Neto, Rooker, Betts. Then I backed up Scooble with Bradish and Uri, Jacob Marcy, Gavin Williams, Mackenzie Gore, all the classics, right? Noelve Marte. All my classics are on this team because I'm drafting my guys. Forget about variety. I'm just going all in, baby. So there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
I also drafted Scooble with my first pick in this draft. I had the number 9 pick and took Scooble over Skeens.
Genius.
We have some of the same players. I took Scooble the first, Caminero, Neto, Matt Olson, Mason Miller, Langeliers, Kirby, Strider, Contreras, Marcy, Teoscar Hernandez, Zach Wheeler, Juan, and Chandler Simpson.
Oh, Chandler Simpson, huh? Just for the steals?
We'll talk about it in our breakout segment.
Oh, boy. Frank's here, and he says, important news. Frank bought a new shirt.
Actually, I stole this shirt from Frank.
Did you steal it or buy it? That's what we want to know, okay?
Well, that's probably why he bought it, because someone stole his.
Anthony says, I've been here since BC. They call it BCE now. It's BCE and CE. It used to be BC and AD when we were kids, but they changed that. Before the Common Era, and so it's not religious. So it's just the pre-Common Era and then the Common Era. Out of respect to those who have different views. Andy's here. What's up, Andy? What's been your guys' best teams you drafted so far? So I got 4 drafts going on. In fact, I'm up in the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational. We go to a live draft pick here right quick, if you don't mind. League 5 has started in the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational. We're underway, which is great.
I feel like I drafted Pallazzo 4 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I bet it feels like it's been a while. Been a while. So, so far, just to get a feel for the roster, if you can see this on the right, Michael Garcia at 3rd, Kyle Schwarber, Acuna, O'Neill Cruz. My pitchers are Hunter Brown and Jacob deGrom. So I got 2 solid starters and some power and some speed mixed, and now I'm on the clock. So I really feel like I need a closer because, remember, this is 50-round draft and hold in the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational. So there's no pickups. You want to have more reliable closers in this type of situation as opposed to dart throws, you know?
Yep.
Although you could throw in a couple dart throws later. But current closers available. We've got Trevor McGill, who people are starting to bum me out on. I know Sam loves, shout out to Sam Wershing, our pal here, Pallazzo Pal, who loves Abner Uribe. I think you got in your case about that. Was that you?
Yeah, we were just busting. Ben and I are both in on McGill. He likes Uribe. So
Fairbanks, I don't trust.
Okay.
I don't trust Fairbanks. Kenley Jansen, I just trust that he's going to get that record and get me saves. Now, you might not get the Ks he used to get, but it's kind of where I'm leaning. And passing on McGill for Kenley Jansen, stupid?
No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, there are pros and cons to both, right? Kenley Jansen's a little longer in the tooth. McGill had that PRP injection, but he did touch 98 the other day. So take that for what it's worth. I personally think it's a splitting hairs type thing, but if I had to pick, I'd go McGill.
Jeez. I'm going to go with my gut. It's my team. I'm taking Kenley, and that's just how. There we go. It's done. You got to stay true to who you are. All right, there it is. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm on the clock of the Rat Slam as well. Hey, double duty. Rat Slam is points based. Okay, points based. Walks matter more, and it's best ball. So you want moonshots sometimes. Guys who are going to pop, right? Maybe go off for a little bit. And I also in Rat Slam points. Best ball. I love guys who have multiple positions because they could fit into other ones because it's best ball, right? You want guys like I've already got guys over here like Otto Lopez, Nueve Marte has third base outfield. Soderstrom, no, he's just outfield now, right? Or
he's first base too.
Oh, Addison Barger, outfield and third base. So yeah, I like that variety, the options.
Soderstrom should be first base as well.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. I'm stoned. I don't know how stoned I am right now. Let's check into that later. I got Matt Olson at first and Wilson Contreras for corner infield, and then I get Soderstrom just for kicks. So I only got one pitcher, though. But at Rat Slam, everybody waits on pitching, so there's still a lot of pitchers, as you can see here. There's my guys. You see them starred. You
big on Tanner Bybee this year?
I love him.
Yeah, I've always been a big Bybee guy.
I love him. He signed a big contract last year, a little rough with the pressure from what he said, but he had a great playoff outing against the Tigers in the playoff round.
Yeah.
Bybee or Gore? What do you guys think? There's also Bubba Chandler.
I'm staying away from Chandler, my boy.
Oh.
Yeah. Just I don't think this is the year where he's just a little too wild for me and is not gonna be able to figure it out. I love the gas that he throws. A little too He's got to be able to get the walks under control for me to be in. I just haven't seen that from last year, and enough so far in this spring training has me enough where I'm not buying him at cost. But
he could pop.
Yeah, he could. He's got upside just like anybody else does. But I'd rather take a proven commodity like a Bybee, Trevor Rogers, Mackenzie Gore, any of those guys that you got up there. So I don't dislike Imanaga there either. I think that might be my pick here.
Yeah, I don't have any of him. I don't know why I'm not feeling him anymore. I liked him when he first came over. He had a great year. Last year wasn't as great. I'm gonna. I also need a second baseman or another middle infielder, but I could wait on that. And I need more starters now, so I'm gonna go trust in the gut, taking Bybee. Done. There it is.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Govier stayed true to himself. Birch says. Amai's a lefty and throws hard. That is correct. He does. F says he's working on his Randy Johnson up and in during spring. Ooh. By the way, I was looking up 36-year-old seasons, the best 36-year-old fantasy seasons, Mike, the other day on ChatGPT. And one of those was Randy Johnson, 36 years old. He had over 300 strikeouts. It was like insanity at 36. It's crazy. It's amazing. F says Bubba Chandler does not walk anybody, Virginia.
He does. He had 7 walks in 3 innings pitched back on February 28th. That was the last that I had heard from Bubba Chandler on that. And he did walk a couple the other day too. So that's what I meant by the walks in spring training there, F.
Andy says, how long are you guys letting Snell and guys like him slide before getting him? We mentioned this earlier. I've been avoiding Snell, and what if I get burned? Because he doesn't have any real damage, right? It's just fatigue, or it's not like he has structural damage.
He's one of the most difficult guys to figure out. I'm just probably staying away. It'll probably never happen, but if it's like 3 or 4 rounds, I might be interested in taking him, but not in a. not in a position where I would only have to take him if my starting pitching was strong. Where if I didn't have him for the majority of the year, then I could probably still make it. But I'm not taking him as a shot as like one of my top guys. So
okay, that's good. All right. Well, we're doing Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's, Mike Virginia and Mike Govier live. You can follow me at MJ Govier. And of course, you can follow Mike Virginia at _Mike VA. Make sure you check out Mike's notes. Mike VA notes are awesome. A lot of fun. Going to get you updated. I will say this spring training, Mike, you got to be careful. You got to calm down a little bit, Mike. You're getting really excited. You're tagging me on tweets. You're like, look at this. Look at this.
Mainly a troll job to both you and Britton. If you guys follow me, I do that every time I talk about a player, and then he pops one the very next day. I'll always tag Govier and Britton. So.
I love it. No, it's great, but
because spring training, man, if it's my bias, I have to, right?
No, of course. Spring training, Virginia is an annual tradition, but
of course,
there's also this. With the World Baseball Classic going on, man, and if you're looking at spring highlights or spring box scores and not looking at highlights, take a look at who some of these guys are taking on right now. Please. That's not for Mike. That's for everyone else here. Please.
Oh, of course.
Please.
Johan Oviedo, I think I was talking about it yesterday with somebody on Twitter too. Like he didn't face anybody. There was no starters in that lineup. He looked phenomenal.
I love Oviedo actually, though. That's a deep pickup for me.
It is. But he looks good so far, but again, didn't face anybody. So pump the brakes a tad until we see what he looks like against a major league lineup. So,
all right, we're gonna get to breakouts. I just want to give you one ADP scenario, Mike. Okay.
Oh, I love this song.
ADP is Kyle Tucker, top 30. Should I pitch out with Mondesi, Max Muncy? Should I wait on closers or draft Ryan Presley?
Ryan Presley.
Wow, old.
And Mondesi was a deep cut too.
That is. That's some old ass shit.
Right.
It's real simple. This, Matt McClain. Here we go. It's Matt McClain versus Luis Garcia. These guys are very tight. If you need a second baseman or a middle infielder between these two men, I think it's a really tough choice. I love Garcia, but I know that McClain love lives within me. And this is a make or break year for Matt McClain. And they want to hit him in the second spot. That's what they're trying to do. No Noel de Marte. They want McClain in the 2-hole. And that's a great spot to be in that lineup. But Garcia is be the cleanup hitter and a team where he can play every day or should play every day this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you do?
Who's the speedy guy that they got to? That's scaring me a little bit.
Nasim Nunez?
Yeah. There's some talks about him getting more play at second as well. And I know they were talking about Garcia possibly playing first now.
They got Abba. What's that guy's name? Abelify Martinez.
I have no idea.
This is a 27-year-old. He's a guy that they got in a trade last year, I think, or actually in the Rangers trade for Gore. But he's in the mix now too at first. Yeah. Okay. So I see your concern.
Yeah. So there's just like the playing time, like with Luis Garcia, they did change managers. Hopefully they get their heads out of it. You guys are so up your own asses. If they get out of that and let him play, Luis Garcia is a guy that I like, but yeah, I can't quit Matt McClain, dude. You know where my heart's going to go. Off to a great start in spring training. This happened last year as well, with the great hot spring training we saw from Matt McClain. But
you guys are so up your asses.
We are.
That is true. Did you know, Govier, that he actually increased his bat size? Like his length of his bat is longer now. Which
I heard he could have that procedure. Yeah.
I heard. Shout out. Since we're talking about credit, I want to give a shout out to the CBS guys because I found out that from Chris Towers, who's been on the show before.
Love Chris.
Yeah, it was either Chris or Scott. But anyways, I don't know how much that helps him with his swing so far in spring training, but so far so good. And to your point, I like his spot in the lineup, second hitting between Friedel and Ellie and Eugenio Suarez. So I think Matt McClain's kind of a value here. What do you think?
That's why I asked the question. I don't know what to do. I found this conundrum, this ADP draft conundrum more than once in these drafts I'm doing. Matt McClain or Luis Garcia. And I like Garcia a bit more, but I don't want my bias is I love both these guys. I've loved these men. I've loved and lost both gentlemen, and it hurts. And I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. Joe's in the Raz Slam too. What's up, Joey? Great. You're in the Raz Slam. I love the Raz Slam. One of my favorite events of the year. I just don't know what to do. I don't even have an answer, Mike. I'm torn. So that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention.
I like it, man. Here's the thing. Like, if you're talking about playing time wise, Garcia has probably more of the playing time concerns than Matt McLean. Sounds like they want to get Matt McLean in the lineup. They want him to play. So I think McLean has probably the higher or the safest floor, I would say.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll lock you in on that one, but I'm scared, man. I'm real scared.
You guys are so up your asses.
Frank wants to know thoughts on Bryson Stott as a late. Bryson Stott has been going earlier. He's not so much a late pick middle infielder, according to the drafts I've been in, just for the record, Frank. Yeah. But again, this is another guy I had an affair with. We had a passionate affair. There was bombs. It was a wartime. It was just, there was nothing but tomorrow, except tomorrow never came. So we lived for today. We had wonderful times together. But Bryson Stott burned me, man. He fell off the face of the earth big time. So I've been scared about him, but he is in his prime. If he can get back to basics, I got to look for other reasons to like him. Like, he's hitting the ball harder. Lineup concerns, I think he's going to play pretty regularly, I think. But Otto Kemp's in the mix now. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Shout out to Eric Cross, too. He brought this up about Kyle Stowers. And it made me think, here we go, because we was talking about Kyle Stowers, and people were like, is he asked if he was a buy or if he was a fade or if he was just a neither. And I think that's important too when you're talking about players and during draft season. Is like, I feel like we have to lump either one of them into like this side or this side. And Bryson Stott fits in this neither category for me. Like, am I in on him? No. Am I out on him? No. It's just like, meh, whatever. So does he have some value in leagues? Of course, the stolen base perspective, Frank, I think will help you. But
sure.
I don't know what he is at this point in his career and where he hits. So
he's a guy who's going to play. He plays.
Yeah.
And he's on a team with a lineup that should bounce back this year. I expect them to be much better than they were last year offensively. But again, what are the reasons for this? Is it just wishful thinking? Like, oh yeah, this is just what I want to happen. Woohoo. Or are there reasons? Yeah. I need reasons. I need specific reasons, and I don't have them in front of me right now. So if somebody else does, go ahead and throw them at me. But I'm paranoid. Trying to stuff the void, as Zach De La Rocha said a long time ago. All right, let's cut the shit, get to breakouts. We got one more song.
Breakout! Breakout!
Oh, yeah.
Breakout!
Another old one. All right, so Mike, kick it off for us. We're talking breakouts. Now, what does this mean? Would you like to clarify a definition for us, or you just want to go for it?
Of course. Breakout for me, and everybody has differing opinions on what busts and breakouts and sleepers mean, right? But for me, a breakout is a player that has kind of maybe scratched the surface in terms of what we've seen from him. Maybe he's a second year, third year rookie, maybe a guy that we saw some good things in the last final months of the season, and a guy that we think could be taken higher next year in next year's drafts, right? So that is my definition of a breakout player, not a proven commodity like a Alex Bregman or, guys you're taking in the first 2 rounds or something along those lines, right? So it has to be somebody that, again, maybe that's scratched the surface. We've seen some talent and be like, could he take the next step to the next level? So,
all right. So who qualifies under that definition? Mike, hit me.
I am going, and previewed and teased it earlier in the show.
DJ Rumsdale, right?
100%. You took it right out of my mouth. I'm going Chandler Simpson of the Tampa Bay Rays. We saw some good shots from him last year. You're not going to get any power out of him. So I want to make that very clear. This is a slap hitter through and through. So his hard rate, if you're looking under the metrics, and this is why I don't always look at StatCast as like a be-all, tell-all type thing, but you're not going to get any power out of him. What you will get is, I think, a solid batting average, plenty of runs, and he's going to put up 40, 50, maybe even 50-plus stolen bases. So he has an elite K percentage and whiff percentage ranking in the 98th percentile, Gov. He doesn't need to hit the ball hard. All he needs to do is just put it in play, and he can beat out infield singles. So if you play in a league where average or OBP, I think this is a guy that you can get as an outfielder who's 3x5 or at a category. You're going to get runs, you're going to get batting average, and you're going to get stolen bases. So
okay.
Would I like to see him bat at the top of that order? I know we're looking at roster resource here. There's not a chance in hell that Gavin Lux stays in that spot the entire year. In fact, I think Chandler Simpson is the guy that comes into play here. So he sets the table. Would it surprise you, Gov? Like if let me give you some stats here. If we saw like a 280 average, 90 to 100 runs scored, and 50 stolen bases, would that qualify for you as a breakout player?
Yeah, for him. Yeah, because we haven't seen that yet. We've seen him steal a lot of bags. If you can add we've seen him hit for average too in the minors. But you're right that he hasn't done it fully in the majors. So I support it 100%.
Are you generally in, out, or is he just in the between, kind of like? I'll see how my build is.
Well, it's real easy to sit here and say, "Oh, I'm not going to draft him because he's too empty for the other cats." But when you're knee deep in that draft, you're in round whatever you're in, and you don't have any steals, suddenly he's going to look pretty good. I assure you, it'll happen to me. It'll happen to anybody out there. Don't try to bullshit me. I've been in this game a long time. Okay, don't bullshit a bullshitter. Yes, it's going to happen. And the question is, though, do I construct to try to draft to include him or not? That I am a little bit more unsure of.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a desperate maneuver because you suddenly realize, oh, shit, I don't have any steals in this draft versus planning it out accordingly to include Chandler Simpson in your draft. Big difference.
Yeah. And people are bringing up in the live chat, too, that his hamstring was a concern. And I've also read today that they were being ultra conservative with him in terms of making sure that that he's all right. He was back in the lineup the other day, so that's obviously encouraging news. But his hamstring does worry me for a guy who relies on speed, right? So of course I'm always going to talk about health first. Like any of the guys that we talk about, they got to stay healthy, right? That's implied. But 98% contact rate as well. He just needs to put the ball in play, man. And I love Chandler Simpson the more and more that I've dug in. And again, if I get that kind of season out of him this year, I'd be happier than a pig and slop. So give me all the Chandler.
Ooh, sloppy pig. Anthony is our old pal here. Real quick, how would you rank Devers, Olsen, and Freeman? For me, it's Olsen, Devers, Freeman.
Hit it twice. I'd agree with you on that.
Oh, okay. There you go. Bing, bang, boom. Two people can't be wrong, can they? F says Jackson Holiday breakout. Mike would like to see that.
Yeah, I would. I've always said this since the day we drafted him. He's a better in real life player than he is a fantasy player. So,
okay. So Frank says Luke Keeschel breakout.
I like that.
I kind of feel like, yes, he was limited by injury last year. It was almost a borderline breakout because he showed up and played pretty well last year, but just wasn't enough games. So this gets technical over was there enough games for it to be a breakout or not? Because he was pretty good when he came up last year. But if he really kicks ass this year and plays 140 plus games, yeah, I'll call that a breakout for sure. I will. And he's on my mind as a breakout. I couldn't decide whether to include him or not, though.
Same. I thought about it as well. He's getting a lot of buzz, and I think he's going right around the Jose Altuve range, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little bit after that. But I like
a little after. I actually drafted Altuve. I don't normally do it, but I was sitting there looking like, okay, I need some batting average. This guy's a Hall of Famer. He's not big where his body's going to fall apart. He's going on 36 years old, but he can still do it.
Yeah,
so he's a 303 career hitter, Altuve. 303 career hitter. He hit 265 last year. You're either saying, well, it's over and he's going to fall off a cliff, or he's going to bounce back in that way. But he did hit 20 plus home runs, though. So you got that from him. I like Altuve.
He's probably one of the safest guys you can draft at second, honestly, with Altuve. So he's not going to be the 2B1 that we were used to accustomed to drafting him at ever again. But I think he's still a top 10 second baseman when it's all said and done.
Hell yeah.
Safe floor.
Hell yeah. Pete's here. Pistol's never in the live chat anymore. Good to see you, man. He's always commenting after every video saying thank you. The most consistent thank you in the business. Yes. Pistol Pete, our man. We love you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Great
brother.
To see you. Yep. Frank says Keeschel or Stott? Keeschel all day. Oh, double Keeschel. Oh, wow. That's bad. We're agreeing too much. Rafaela breakout in an amazing Sox lineup. I did not keep him. I made a trade at the end of last year in my home league, 14-team head-to-head cats, OBP instead of average. And I traded Ronald Acuna finally. After 7 wonderful years, I finally moved on from Acuna. Got a huge draft haul. I've got like 6 first-round picks. I got Noelvi Marte, and I got Rafaela. But I didn't keep Rafaela because I just didn't trust he was one of my 10 best players. So I hope I'm not wrong. I'm
going to bring this up really quick. Not a lot to be jazzed about here. I'm not big on Ceddanne Rafaela. I think he's an okay player. I don't think this is probably something we're going to see from him. A low batting average, decent pop, decent speed. I'm just out on him. A guy who doesn't walk much, he chases a lot. That's going to have to improve for me to be in on him. But he's only 25 years old, so yeah. I don't know if I buy Breakout though.
Isn't this the Bellinger situation? The password doesn't hit the ball very hard. These guys who don't hit the ball very hard, but they still produce.
Yeah, like Simpson. We just talked about it.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Like people, Bellinger. This is amazing. Bellinger hit 47 home runs one year. That was clearly the juice ball year, because that shit never happened again.
Yeah.
But, I digress. Okay.
Like 24 and 2025, right? Like, I'm not saying he can't improve from those, but that kind of feels like Ceddanne Rafaela. Like, you're going to get sub 240 batting average, double-digit home runs, double-digit steals, decent runs. So,
yeah, he's had 2 full seasons here where it's been almost identical.
Yeah. I just think that's who he is.
He's 25, though. He can grow still. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Growth.
That's what we're doing here, Mike.
Show. It's just growing, man.
We're all growing. Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. Gosh darn it. People like me. Right. I need that drop now. I'll have to get that next show. CJ had a point earlier. I had to go back to this. CJ, I told you I'd get back to it. I don't want to screw you because I don't like doing that to the people, especially when they're making the effort. Oh, crap. Where is it? Now here's what happens. We're doing a live show. I try to go back in time. Oh, here it is. Okay. Where are we drafting Adley? Is he ahead of Kirk? Alejandro Kirk. This was, yes. I promise I get back to you on this one.
Yeah, I'd take Adley over Kirk. Kirk doesn't really do much, man. I think I think he's going to regress from the batting average. I don't think he's a 280 hitter.
What?
I really don't.
Of course he is.
No.
What are you talking about?
I think he's more of like a 250, 260 hitter at the end of the day.
Oh,
I think that's probably one of his better seasons that he's going to have. He's slower than all hell, so he's not going to help you out in runs. The pop is probably more like a 12 to 15 homer guy. I think Adley has the potential to score a lot of runs, hit for a decent average. Hopefully the pop returns. He can when he bats from the left side. I just like the upside better of Adley here.
In 2022, Alejandro hit 285 over a full season. Last year, he hit 282 over a full season. In between, with 2 seasons of mostly full and kind of full, he hit 250 in both those years.
Okay.
So I see why you're at least questioning it, but
the truth probably falls somewhere in the middle, I'd say. But again, can he hit 280? Of course. But are you drafting Kirk over Adley here?
I've been thinking about it. Okay. I have, but Adley I actually drafted in our fantasy 6-pack. Yesterday for the first time. I'm like, you know what? I used to love this guy. If he's not dead, if there's health issues that I didn't understand, or if he just fell off the face of the earth because he was depressed and the team sucked and didn't like their manager anymore or whatever shit it was.
Probably all of it.
This guy is a stud. I mean, this guy was a stud. This guy was a 20+ home run guy who could hit 300 easy. Adley. Mm-hmm. If that guy's still there, I had to take the shot on it. So I drafted him. I did.
Agreed. I think it's Adley here, though. I just like the upside better with Kirk. I think you know what you're getting with Kirk. I think Adley, we haven't seen him produce yet, but there are some questions here, Gove, that it's like time's coming, man. He's not a rookie anymore. So,
yep, you're right about that. You're absolutely right. You are a wise mother effer. Altuve had a higher OPS last year than Langford. Yeah, well, we know that's true, actually. Langford, a high-end breakout this year? Wonder if we see a Kyle Tucker-like season. God, I would love that. I would, but I have not drafted Langford once so far in my early drafting.
Same.
But I did pick him over Roman Anthony in our Two Little Mice segment. I did.
You did.
F says, Holiday cut his K rate by 12% last year. I like drafting players that have room to improve from last year.
Good call.
I do too. This Hammett bone thing threw me off. You can't let these things throw you off too much, Mike. You can't. I'm talking to myself, nobody else.
Right.
Okay. Keishel or Durbin? Keishel all day. Keishel. There's no playing time question. Right?
Yep, 100%. It's
a lot of blue balls. Yeah, I don't know what that was in reference to, but that's funny.
Ceddanne Rafaela.
There we go. This is trolling. What are your thoughts on Jordan Alvarez?
We already talked about him as one of my busts.
I've drafted him at least twice already. Twice already, baby. Yeah.
You're my friend, You're my friend. I hope. I genuinely mean this too, and I'm not just saying this. I genuinely hope that he comes out and just has a banner year and helps you win some leagues here, dude. It just will not be on my team, unfortunately. So if I get burned, I get burned. Yeah.
Great job.
That's very sweet. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, breakout for me. My ride or die. Gotta have it. Can't live without them. They're going to show you what they're made of this year. I didn't want to. Mike Virginia, of course. He's really going to show you. He's going to take it to another level in 2026. But the competition is heavy. I don't know if you guys have heard. Yes, you've heard that. I don't want to repeat. I feel like I'm repeating a lot of the same guys. But now I'm like outsmarting myself because I don't want to overthink what I'm doing. So I feel like a fraud in a certain respect. Where it's like, well, I already talked about that guy in another show, and
I had to take some guys off. Like I had some guys, and I was like, I already talked about him, so I try to make it newer.
All right. Well, here we go. I think we're talking catchers. I think Ryan Jeffers is going to have his best season of his career this year. Right? This guy flashed 20-plus home run power 2 years ago. Last year didn't hit for much pop, but had a better OBP, a 356 OBP. But I think this is the year Jeffers could put it all together and show you why he is a starting catcher for your squad, a guy you can wait on even as your starter if you're in single catcher leagues, which you should be because most leagues are, because double catcher leagues are stupid. But for some reason in the fantasy industry, everything has to be double catcher. But I'm sure there was a reason for it, but I just didn't care to listen.
Wow,
But
dude.
I love Ryan Jeffers this season. I'm a fan. Break out, Ryan Jeffers. Break out!
Love it. And you traded for him, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like that was a guy that you had. Okay.
I picked him up in my 20-man dynasty with Don HD. Shout out to Don. I love Don. Don's the man. He hosts that league. Who else you got breakouts? Give me another name.
Yeah. JJ Weatherholt. Now, again, I realize it's a rookie, but a lot of people have been talking about Connor Griffin and Kevin McGonigal, which rightfully so. Those are the top two prospects in baseball. Do not sleep on JJ Weatherholt. And I would actually say I would rank them in order in terms of how I feel safely about them starting the year with their respective teams and seeing consistent playing time. I would actually go JJ Weatherholt number 1, Kevin McGonigal number 2, and Connor Griffin number 3. And I would actually reverse that order if we're talking about just pure talent. But in terms of just where they are in the lineups and if they're, playing time is going to be consistent, I think JJ Weatherholt's going to be there. And he's right now a shortstop, but he's going to be qualifying at second because I believe that's where they're going to have him play. Mason Wynn's got short. So I like JJ Weatherholt a lot. And the more and more I looked at him too, and I took him in TGFBI, 267 so far this in spring so far, 967 OPS. But across AA and AAA last year, go 306 average, 23 stolen bases, and 17 home runs. And he's probably going to hit at the top half of that lineup. So I love JJ Weatherholt as a guy that can take. I think this is a guy that'll be a lot less pressure comparatively to McGonigal and Griffin because he's not labeled as the guy, as the number 1 or number 2 prospect in all of baseball. So, and I think this is a guy you can get later in drafts as well as a corner or middle infielder or second or short. Now, would I be relying him as my starting? Probably not, because again, he is still a rookie. We might see some rookie bumps in the road, but
great job.
Take a shot on JJ Weatherholt.
Okay. Wow. Well, you don't need to run a check.
So you better run a check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
He doesn't need to run a check. That's what I'm saying. This guy knows what he's talking about. Good job, Mike. McGonigal. Yeah, you heard about this guy, Kevin McGonigal? Calling that a breakout is like, that's lazy. I'm not even going to go there because we already know he's a top D. He's a stud prospect, okay?
Yeah.
But it's about opportunity. I see what you're saying about Weatherholt. I respect it. I'm down with it. I think it's a little less likely than McGonigal. This is my guy. Chris Miami says Teal looks amazing. I love Kyle Teal. Kyle Teal, I think, can still qualify for breakout. He got a taste last year, but it was very limited, and he had to play with Edgar Cuero a lot. I have drafted Kyle Teal on every single team I've drafted so far. Now, these are 2 catcher leagues. Remember that. But he would be my number 1 catcher. I will wait for Kyle Teal as my starting catcher in 2026. This guy can hit for batting average. He's got some pop. He can do it all. OBP leagues, batting average leagues, whatever it is. Kyle Teal is your man as a backstop. I love this guy. I love it. Lock me in all day. All day and twice on Sundays because it is Sunday.
And you hit the thank you, Jesus button because you know what we do on Sundays, right?
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you. Thank you for Kyle Teal, Lord. Thank you. Any other breakouts?
A couple guys I just really quickly touch on. Wilyer Abreu, I like as a breakout this year as well. I think this is a 30 homer pop guy if they let him play.
Wait,
they want to get
last
him
year a breakout.
Yeah, but I mean, he only ended up with like 67 RBIs. He had 20 homers, but would you consider that a breakout?
I would, but this is your time. So go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think, again, the guy who has 30 homer pop could probably give you a 260, 270 batting average. And they want him in the lineup, Gove, because he's a gold glove fielder as well, outfielder. So
He is.
I think they want to get him in as much as possible. He does need to hit lefties better. But more and more I look at it, I think this is a very cheap source of power in a good lineup. Wilyer Abreu. I like him. And then shout out to David Mendelson as well, who brought this up. Brendan Donovan. Yeah. Brendan Donovan, who we saw a good flash of last year, but moves to a better lineup. He's probably going to be hitting at the top of the, oh yeah, I love you, F. I love this. He's going to be hitting at the top of the Seattle lineup, hitting in front of guys like the Big Dumper, right? Julio Rodriguez. I think this is a guy that can chip in for at least a respectable batting average, score plenty of runs, and give you double-digit homers and double-digit steals. And he's going way after pick 200. So I like Brendan Donovan to improve on last year and be one of the guys that we're talking about as possibly a top 10, top 12 second baseman next year.
Okay, a couple more. And so Sal Stewart's one of your breakouts, I would assume, because you love him.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally put this in the show sheet, right? Like I had already as the thing. I had Jacob Marcy, Carter Jensen, Sal Stewart, and Addison Barger. Those are a couple other guys. So
I love all those guys too. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It does make me concerned that we love him though. Nasim Nunez, he's a breakout for me. I put it over on the Patreon the other day. I've been doing some player videos, quick player hits. They're lovely little things I do where they're a tribute to Moneyball, where he's sitting there pointing at the board, and I give you all these stats and information. It's got the Moneyball music under it. It's real nice. Nice little 40-second video. Give you all the information you need. And Nasim Nunez is one of those guys. Also, Carson Benj of the Mets. I love Carson Benj to be a breakout this year. He's got the talent. He's ready to go. He can play. Juan Soto is willing to play left field, so Benj can play right field. That says a lot about this guy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So give me some Carson Benj. Love that dude. Very excited. And of course, I've mentioned Braxton Ashcraft a million times, but I got to mention him again because, that's my guy. It's very important to me that I'm on the record with that. And after that, I'll also give you Bryce Eldridge of the Giants.
Love him.
Bryce Eldridge has tons of power.
Yep.
It might be a better OBP guy for OBP leagues. I admit that. And It's a rookie year, but he should get his best opportunity to play in 2026. And if he can give you 20 plus dongs, I'm going to call it a breakout because he's arrived.
Post type sleeper here too. Mark Appel for the Minnesota Twins is a guy that has looked really good in spring training. I'm not calling him a breakout, but a guy to keep your eye on. I don't think you could have asked for a better spring training so far for a pitcher than Mark Appel. So, and if you guys remember, he came over in the Johan Duran trade with Philadelphia. So
yeah, he was a number one pick.
Yeah. Post guy, yeah, but we'll see. He looks good so far this spring.
All right, that's fair. All right, let's get into a couple busts, and then we'll get out of here. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right, Pallazzo Podcast 2
Utah.
Tuesdays. Follow Mike at _Mike VA and me at MJ Govier because that's how we do.
And this is why I can guarantee.
God,
I gotta get a new face on that video.
I know, but even Bo Bichette's face in that picture just pisses me off. Like it's so annoying. Stupid hair. Anyways, I have one that I have now kind of grown more into. This is a spicy take.
All right, now we're cooking.
James Wood of the Nationals.
What?
I know a lot of people like him, dude. Yeah. Had a great, they're very similar to PCA. I cannot sit here in good conscience and think to myself, hey, I can't be out on Carl Armstrong and not be out on James Wood because they had very similar second halves. In fact, I would argue that James Wood had arguably an even worse second half than PCA, which I thought was impossible to do. Had nearly a 40% strikeout rate in the second half, Gove. 39% to be exact. 690 OPS, which is not good either in the second half. Batted 223 in the second half comparatively to 278 in the first, and took about half less walks in the second half as well. So maybe a little bit of pressing there as well. But if you look at it, like these numbers look great. A lot of that came in the first half, though, as well with James Wood. So there's no way in hell that he can maintain a spot in this lineup if he's going to be striking out 40% of the time. Nobody can. Do I think he'll be that bad? No.
No.
Yeah, at the same time, too, this is a player that's still growing. It's just a little too rich for my blood and where he's going right now in drafts. So I am out on James Wood.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. How do you feel about
So you'd rather have TJ Rumfield?
Yo, Rumfield.
100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I like James Wood as the prospect, but I need to see him correct. And same with PCA. I reserve the right to change my mind on these guys, but where they're going currently in drafts, I'm not buying, especially with how their second halves went. It'd be different, Gove, if it was the first half and then the second half they've shown this production, which means they showed some growth. But to have it so well in the first and then completely fall off a mountain in the second, that has me worried a little bit. And I don't know if I'm willing to spend that draft price ticket on either of these guys.
Okay. I know. I love it. That's the kind of call outs we're looking for here on There Will Be Bust. Trying to decide if I want to go between. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I may look like a fool, but I'm going to say Christopher Sanchez will be a bust this year.
The guy that I was not in on last year, and I got burned by that flame. So why?
I didn't have any of them last year.
Yeah,
he's not as dominant. I know that some guys think that he's a better pick than maybe it was Crochet or some of the other guys above him. Crochet, Skeens, and Scooble are the consensus top 3 starters in drafts so far, I believe. And Christopher Sanchez is supposed to be in that mix, but I don't think he's at their level. I was looking at his stats, and I've always had an issue with him. Kurtz has a launch angle, Wood does not. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. You also forgot to mention that he does pull the ball on the ground a lot. So,
oh, that's fun. You ever pull the ball on the ground? It's so much fun, man. Come on. Nice hot grounder, worm burner. Woo! Yeah. Hot corner.
Sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, we're good. Sanchez does not walk a lot of guys, so that's a huge benefit. You can't really disrespect that at all. And last year he was outstanding. Yeah. He pitched 180 innings in 24, 200 innings, 202 to be specific, in 2025. And I'm just wondering if this load will hold up. But he's in his prime, and if he's healthy, there's no reason to expect it won't. So I know why people will think this is a stupid take. Plus, his FIPS and his ERAs, they match quite well. Sometimes they're even better over the last 2 years. I'm just suspect that he belongs in the conversation. This is a very context-focused bust. If you want to wait on Christopher Sanchez, then I could see you doing that. But I just don't think he belongs in the top 3 with Crochet and Skeens and Scooble at all. And I'm going to lock myself in on that and live or die with it.
I don't disagree with you on that. I think there's the A tier for me is, like, if I had to list them this way, the A tier for me is Scooble and Skeens, and probably put Crochet in that mix too. And I think Sanchez goes in the tier below that, right? But he's kind of at the cusp, right? So I don't hate that at all, honestly. Like, this is the first really big breakout season we saw from Christopher Sanchez. Can he regress? Yeah. But could he be a guy that you can rely on in drafts as your anchored ace? I think that's also in the realm of possibilities as well.
You take Sale over Sanchez, Govier? Anthony's asking. Wow.
I took Sale in
37? You did?
Yeah, I think
he's
36.
Sale 37 years old? Okay, 36. Whatever. He's 36. Yeah. He's been so dominant with Atlanta since he came over there. He still got 125 innings in an injury-limited season last year. Yeah. Oh, wow. You really put me there.
Yeah. I take Sanchez, just younger. I'm not saying that Sale can't have a good season. I just prefer Sanchez.
I'm going to burn it down. I'm taking Sale over Sanchez.
I hope you're right, because that would be great. My TGFBI.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Busts are about, saying goodbye to players that you don't think will be what they purport. Is that a word? Purport?
I've never heard of it.
To be? I mean, but this is the button we haven't even hit today.
Why won't you die?
Yes, thank you for adding that.
So who's going to die? Who else you got in the bus? We're talking bus, folks.
Trevor Story of the Boston Red Sox, my guy.
Oh, he's turned his back on his one true love from 2025. Yep. Wow, dude.
Wow,
I remember being on Pallazzo last year, and on my segment was obviously me, Justin, and then Chris Towers, and I brought up Trevor Story as a guy to watch out for, and nobody liked. Everyone's like, why Trevor Story? And ended up going like 30-30, I think, or close to it, which is great. But the underlying metrics with Trevor Story have me concerned. again, near 27% K rate, 5% walk rate. Gove, not good. I like guys, and he chased a lot too, so he should still hit in the middle of that lineup there. I know Cora likes to bat him, and he said he's earned it, quote unquote. So should still have plenty of opportunities, but I cannot be in on Story and out on a guy like Byron Buxton, who's been hurt almost every year of his career. So I'm not taking either one of these guys because I'm not willing to pay the draft price with how injured and often injured these guys are. So a little segue there.
You die?
Right. Love that clip. So I'm not taking Trevor Story. The others I don't like. Byron Buxton, I put in here. George Springer, and then George Kirby a little bit here, Gove.
Oh, yeah. I've been passing on Kirby.
Yeah, I find myself doing that more and more too. Let me ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this question with Kirby, and I don't want to steer off too quick here, but with George Kirby, when you're saying you're passing over him, why is that? Like when he in drafts, when he comes to you and you're not taking him, why?
I think the gut instinct is concerned about injury.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that he still pitched 125 innings last year, right?
Yeah,
which people might be a surprise to them, but these Seattle guys, we talked about it on one of our previous shows, right? I'm just concerned about the health. And that is like a gut instinct that sticks with me. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I mean, you can have everyone's uniform opinions on data and blah, blah, blah on pitchers and hitters. But if you want someone's opinion, that's what I'm giving you. My opinion on George Kirby is that I'm concerned that he will not stay healthy, and the injury history is enough for me to wonder if that shoulder inflammation will pick up again in 2026, or was that just a fluke? There was no structural damage.
Yeah, like I think he's being taken in the upper echelon of starting pitchers, and rightfully so, because he's a whip artist, like real low whip. 2023 104, 2024 107. He still finished those seasons with a mid-3 ERA, and last year was a 4.21 ERA. So, and his whip was ballooned to 119. So, I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things where I look at George Kirby as and he plays in a great ballpark, good lineup. I get that, but I'm with you on the injuries, and I think he's a little overhyped. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's enough for me to be like, yeah, this is one of the guys I want on my team.
Why won't you die?
Yeah, if he falls to me, I'm willing to take him. But I'm not really sure why people are so buzzy on George Kirby, or why they've liked him so much. Because he's not really a big strikeout guy either. Don't get me wrong, 170 strikeouts in 23 and 24 are great, but I don't know. Something about him just seems very blah to me. I don't know why. And adding the arm injury to that and the fatigue has me out.
Well, there you go. Speak the truth, my friend. That's why you follow me at _Mike VA.
Nobody says woo around here except me.
Great bit. Love that.
This is right on cue because Frank says Ric Flair says woo. I think Brian Woo's a bust this year. Much more so than George Kirby. I just think there's going to be regression because so good last year, but he's had injury issues in the past that he was able to survive, right?
Yeah.
He got through them. And I mentioned this on Twitter a couple of years ago, but there's a great site. It's called foxsports.com. And you can go there and they give you real quick, they don't give you a lot of detail, but they just show you the injury history of a player real quick. So you have it nice and concise. Yeah. And it's cool to have this. So the pectoral was the issue last year. It wasn't an elbow, but in 2024 there was elbow and forearm stuff, but he never had surgery, right? He got away with all that stuff. When is that going to come back to haunt him? This is something I got to give credit to Dave McDonald. I've said it before on the show. He's really pointed out some things to me about injuries, about how they can come back eventually, that you might even get through a season and be good, but eventually the piper must be paid. So I'm total bust out.
Why won't you die?
Brian Woo, why won't you die? You will die this year. Sorry.
The thing with and Frank's asking this question, who Gilbert or Woo, and if I think we did the segment on the two little mice segment, I actually put 3 in there. I took Gilbert, Woo, and Kirby in here, and I believe I said I would rather have Kirby, but I think I also said it depends on your build. I think if you're looking for Ks, I think Gilbert's the guy here. If you're looking for somebody who can control ratios, and when I mean ratios, I mean ratio, which is just whip with George Kirby, and hopefully he gets back to that. I think at value, probably you're spending a higher ticket on Wu and Gilbert comparatively to Kirby. But if I had to pick between these two, I go Gilbert.
Anthony's really afraid. He doesn't want Wu to die. Never die, Wu. Yeah, Anthony's afraid. Uncle Ted says Nolan McLean bust. I disagree with that, T.
Disagree
In fact,
too. Yeah.
Down for a bet on that one, Uncle T. If you think of one, let me know. I love Nolan McLean. I've been targeting him. I drafted him once already. I will draft him again and again.
You concerned about the vertigo issues?
No, I mean, vertigo's a real thing. Was it Austin Meadows who had vertigo? Vertigo's been a thing of a few players, so I gotta at least be aware of it. But
yeah,
I think it's something they can control with meds and whatever else. It's a weird thing to me. I never had vertigo. Have you had vertigo?
I've had symptoms of it and where they thought I had it, but yeah, it's just like where you're like, you could be walking, standing still, and all of a sudden your equilibrium's kind of off. Like you feel like your balance is just weird. It's mainly like eyesight related. So
weird. Wow.
Yeah.
Any other busts? Do we get them all?
I've already talked about my three, which again, I don't have any shares of. PCA, O'Neal Cruz, and Yordan Alvarez. Those are my big three for my bust this year. Lock me in. That's Mike Virginia's top 3 bust board.
Bust board, baby. Woo, woo.
Anybody else that you're not in on? I think some of the common ones we've seen, or at least I've seen from the industry too, are like Carlos Estevez. I think a lot of people are out on him just because of the velo and his declining velo this year. Spencer Strider is another one that I've seen from folks, which I'm interested to hear your take on as well. With Spencer Strider, his velo was up this past outing that he had. Is that enough for you to be back in on Strider, or is
I actually
velo
drafted him twice after that?
I love you, man. I love you. I love you. I'm in on Spencer Strider, man. I was
like, what if he gets back? Like, because he was my third starter on one of these teams here. He was my third starter. I'm like, if Spencer Strider's my third starter, that's not bad, right?
Yep.
Like, because he had surgery, he's out. Last year's his comeback year. It's a rough year. Now, Strider has always had walk issues. You know, if you look at his history, his best year in 23, there's been issues there. But he also kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, maybe like a Tim Lincecum for some reason. Like he might fade early. Like Tim Lincecum was awesome for a portion of time, but he died quickly.
Yeah. There's the thing with Strider for me that I look at it from, and I know I get it. A lot of people are like, oh, he's been hurt, and like people aren't buying that. I bring this up every year, and I've already brought it up on a show before. There are some guys that like, and I would not be surprised if Carlos Estevez came back in his first game pitching for the Royals and his velo is back up. Yes, there are ways in how baseball works with some guys, not all, but some, and I would actually venture to say most. It's a slow rise up to velo. Guys do not come into games trying to throw 98, 99, 100 miles an hour, right?
Sure.
I think they work their way to that. And more specifically for a guy like Strider who's coming off of injury, I don't want my guy throwing that hard. What I'm working on with him is making sure that his location is good, his secondary and third pitches are good, right? And then again, there's some shape to his fastball, there's some movement, whatever it may be. We all know this guy can pump, right? I'm not saying that
Pumper's got a pump.
Yeah. It's a gradual incline with velocity. I think so much weight gets put into, oh my God, he's not throwing as hard as he did last year. I think it's way overblown in spring training. I really do. And even then, the guys that we don't hear about, you're going to see that progress as the season goes on as well, because you want to keep the bullets in the gun longer, right? You don't want to air it out in spring training. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand why it gets so overblown every year. That's hit the why won't you die button, because that's something that will not die every spring training.
Why won't you die?
Yeah. So this is the Strider team. If you look at my roster on the right, this is my TGFBI team. And yeah, look at this pitching staff. It's stupid.
I love it. Ooh, you got Mason Miller too.
Oh, that's like to me, Mason Miller's it was my second or third pick second pick. Yeah. I took him after Crochet in round 2 at TGFBI. Yep.
Nice. I like it.
Because I have so much. When I click on Mason Miller and draft him, I can't think of a player right now to this point that I feel more secure and more at peace about. To me, Mason Miller is just such a safe lock. Like, this guy is just so good. And the injuries have already been there before. I think I'm not expecting him to have many injury issues this year, which I guess you could never predict, but
Right.
I love Mason Miller. But it's Crochet, DeGrom, and I took Strider as my third. So you got Crochet, DeGrom, Strider, Gore, and Bybee.
It's a solid starting five. Yeah.
To me, that looks like pure gold.
Was that TGFBI?
It sure was.
Okay. Do you have a second? I want to pull. I want to pull mine up really quick because I want to hear your take on it because I don't think I've heard yours yet, and I want your honest opinion. Don't hold anything back.
You know I won't.
I know.
Ooh, Sonny Gray bust. I'm not opposed to that. That's interesting. He's kind of guy though that he just still gets the job done enough though. You want him. You think he'll suck, but he won't. He's a wild
I don't know if he qualifies as a bust. I think he's just what he is right now. And I think it's one of those guys that, like you said, you know what you're going to get, but he's just kind of meh for me. He's been in the league a long time.
Yeah.
It's just,
Mike would like this Shane Boz breakout.
Like that. I would love that. Actually, he just got to stay healthy. I think he has the talent to do that for sure. Right.
Vertigo, an Al Pacino movie. I think Vertigo was like a Jimmy Stewart movie or something, or like a Hitchcock movie from the 60s.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that. Pitching on that team. Beautiful. Hell yeah, F. You know I know how to do it. I love it stacked.
All right. Roast me live chat, guys. Let's see it here. Okay. I'm going to blow it up so you can see it a little bit more.
There you go. Good man. This is a pro move. When you blow it up, you've really reached elite status. There you go.
Right. So Team 13 here. I talked about it with Britton on our show that we did last time, but I got Bender in my league, Pianowski, any of these other names that you recognize, Gov?
Heglin, Davis. That could be. I don't know which Davis. Is that Matty Davis or not?
I don't think it's Matty Davis. No.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Daniel Salinger or Justin.
Yep.
Daniel. Cool. Hi, Danielle.
Took Tatis in the first. Backed it up.
The same start. I told you that.
Yep. I was really happy to hear that. Chris Sale, Reagan's as my top two. I told Britton I wanted to take Britton's guy Brent Rooker here instead, but I did not. So obviously I got sniped before that. So on the way back, I took Reagan's over Fried and DeGrom. Do you like that?
I definitely like it over Fried. DeGrom, I go either way because I love Reagan's. I think, I'm fine with it. I don't have a beef.
I took Chapman.
I don't know about a roll this.
I didn't like this pick. I'll be honest with you. And this was.
Did you see how many seasons he's had where he hasn't had?
Yes.
Like he blew up last year, but it had been 3 years.
Yeah. Yep. Where he said his whip has been super high this year. I mean, apparently Boston figured something out with him too. Apparently there's reports on that, but closers were going quick. Gove, and I wanted my hands on one because if I didn't take one, it was not a good one, was not coming back to me. So,
oh boy. Well, he's also 38 years old, just for the record, but the guy just throws hard forever. He'll throw hard like Nolan Ryan when he's 80.
I will say, whoever this Miller guy is, he did take Michael Garcia. I was literally had him in my queued up as my guy, and then he took him from me. So I got sniped here. I love Tyler Soderstrom. I took him as my first baseman. Eugenio Suarez, my guy.
Hate it.
In the 7th round. Love him.
I think it's way too early. Hate it.
Why don't you like that?
Because I don't like it that early. I think I can replicate what that guy does later with other players, but maybe I'm wrong. It's all power and nothing else too. There's also guys at third base I like better. So that's just my preference.
I needed power here and with this build so far. So
for power, you're right.
For Tatis and Churi, I'm not saying they can't hit for power, but I think Suarez, 5 or 6 out of the last 7 seasons, he's hit 30 home runs. So just a safe 30 homer guy. So
I didn't think you're bad. Just to be clear, I don't think you were as bad off with power as you thought you were. With Soderstrom, Tatis, and Churio, I think you were sitting real solid, but that's my opinion.
I took Zach Wheeler here. I reached on him a little bit, but every report coming out, every report saying that he's going to be back shortly after a short IL stint to start the year, and I think that's just them being overly cautious. Took Jacob Marcy, Trevor McGill, and I double tapped on catcher because I was running out of time here. Yeah. I wanted Carter Jensen, and actually Howard Bender reached out to me and said, you sniped me on Carter Jensen because he was going to take in this round. So I'm glad I got him. He took Kirk instead, I believe. No, he didn't.
I don't know about that Basalo pick, man.
Yeah, I took the upside here. And there's a lot of upside guys coming after this. This is where my draft starts to thin out here.
I can't get Robbie Ray but he's staying around that long. That's stupid. That's a great pick.
I wanted the K's there for Robbie Ray. So, and then I took JJ Weatherholt and Colson Montgomery. 3 straight shortstops off the board here, Gove.
Whoa. Okay. My only concern here now, looking at this little quadrant, this little sector.
Yeah.
A lot of youngsters unproven here. That's my
It's a high
concern
upside.
for you.
You got to risk it for the biscuit here, Gove.
Or you got to stick with the stable vets so that you can be better than the Mets.
There
Okay?
you go. I like that. I like that. I took Colson Montgomery here, and I will note too that I thought I had my second baseman here. So this was a goof on my part, or third baseman. I'm sorry. I thought he could qualify in my corner infield spot, and he only qualifies as shortstop on TGFBI or NFBC. So that was a goof on my part there.
That's okay.
Yeah, and then I took Kevin McGonigal just because, again, I needed.
I love that.
I wanted the upside here. There's just a lot of guys that I looked at, and I was just like, man, I thought about taking Max Muncy in this spot, and I also talked about maybe Kyle Manzardo. I just like the upside of McGonigal, so that's why I took him there.
No, it's a great time to take McGonigal. I love it. This guy's going to be. I said on this show weeks ago, before the hype is really taking off, that he will be their starting shortstop. I'm on the record. I said it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Tigers hype, because it made sense for them too, because he's also that good.
Right. Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, I am going to target some more veterans here. If hopefully nobody in my league's watching, I am going to target Gleyber Torres as my second baseman.
Not bad. Not a lot of hype there, but solid vet. Yeah, again, see, that's a solid vet ad.
Right. So I think at the end of the day too, like I was bummed where I went wrong in my draft. I didn't like double tapping catcher there. I thought I should have taken maybe one of those guys instead of both. How I feel about it, if I can get at least two of those guys between Weatherholt and McGonigal to hit, I think I'm going to be in a good spot. So I love my pitching. If Zach Wheeler can come back and play well, we'll see.
Love my pitching. What, is that a DMX? No, was it? Never mind. It's a great song, but I can't sing it because love my pitching, but where's my? Is that a rap song?
That's a DMX song.
Nope.
Is he a famous baseball player?
DMX, rest in peace. Fucking A, what the hell happened? Right. I can't believe he's dead. Shout out DMX.
Yeah.
All right, that's good stuff there, buddy. Real good stuff. I'm loving the way that my TGFBI teams come together. I showed you the pitching, but just to mention, Austin Riley, the hitting side, Jordan, Riley, O'Neal Cruz, Corey Seager, Altuve, and Kyle Teal. So I think I'm banking on bounce backs. I think my theme for 2026, I sometimes I'll back away from it because people will talk me out of it. Stay true. If a guy has talent, it will return eventually. That's my
I love that. I'm with you on that. I'm going to bring up this with Star. Yeah, you shouldn't have took Wheeler. You could have had other pitchers that are healthy. But here's the thing: he is healthy. He feels good. He's going to be.
I'm surprised to hear Star say that, actually, because I think Star's one. Star's one of these like NFBC guys. He knows a lot. I thought you'd be in on Wheeler now. It looks like things are looking up.
He's going to be back in April, and back to your whole point with Strider here. If he turns into Zach Wheeler of last year, even if we don't see the top 3 SP, because I believe going into drafts last year, we were taking Zach Wheeler as what, a top 4, top 5 SP. I'm not saying that
Wheeler was the top. Yeah, he was in the top. Yeah. He was one of the studs. Absolutely.
Right. And I'm not saying that
he might have been the first one.
And Star, to my point here, and again, I hate playing the what if game, but I also love it at the same time. What if he does turn back into that? Let's say he doesn't even get to top 4, top 5. Let's say he's a top 10, and I got him in what, round 8, round 9? Give me that twice on Sundays, man, because it is a Sunday show.
I love it. I love it, man. I said what I said, and nobody knows though. This is all to be determined. Draft season is where the hype is at its apex. There's still more drafts to come. I'm excited. I got to get a couple underdog best balls in too. I want to get in on those this year. I did the footballs the last couple of years, but I haven't had a chance to get in on the baseball one. So I'm hoping to do that too. Those big best balls are fun. And I'm trying to do more best ball and less fab. I've removed myself from a couple leagues. I've downsized, so I don't have as much overly stressed out, like too much ground to cover on fab weeks. It's just too much. I'm proud of myself.
I'm with you, dude. I got invited to play in a lot of other leagues this year, and I'm down 2 or 3 leagues than last year because I want to concentrate more on the leagues that I am in currently right now. That was one of my biggest things. I went in before I drafted any single team. I said to myself, I'm not playing in as many leagues this year because it's just way too hard to keep up with, especially when you got 2 kids. So
hell yeah, brother. I sympathize with you all the way on that one. And F says there are 2 types of thoracic outlet, and supposedly Wheeler had the less severe type. Yeah, that's the rumor. That's one of the rumors. Anthony says, I saw Justin Mason auction. The whole entire pitching staff was $1. All the pitchers were dollar pitchers. Yeah, this was posted on Twitter today. I saw this before the show. He copied it from a guy named Larry Bedelia or something from 1996 in Labor or Tout Wars, or I can't keep track of which one it was. So we'll see how that strategy plays out. He was able to get Shohei, Judge, and another superstar all on the hitting side because he spent dollars on all his pitchers. So I don't.
That's funny.
I don't like that. I don't mind that at all. I dig it. I'm down with it. Last year was the year of the pitchers coming out of nowhere, man. I've said it 10 times. Eric Lauer, Jansen Junk, Adrian Hauser, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
I like it. Are you playing in the main? Well, I'll be playing in the main, of course. I'm about to sign up for my league, so more on that soon. Jim Turner, real quick, Mike. I have the 4th pick in an 8-team league. Should I pick Soto, Witt, or J-Rod?
Witt, not even close for me. And a 4th pick, I'd be surprised if Witt fell that.
Yeah.
I like Witt because he's the safest out of the 5x5 guy. I'm not saying that Julio Rodriguez isn't, but he usually struggles in the first half of what we've seen. And I don't think Soto reaches his stolen bases that he had last year. So I'd definitely go Bobby Witt here. He's arguably you can make an argument him being number 1 over Ohtani, but just from a util shortstop perspective. But I'd still take Ohtani there.
Well, it's been a blast, folks. We love doing this show. Nothing better than talking fantasy baseball in the absolute depths of draft season. We got more drafts to roll out still, more coverage, popping more videos out to you. Stay tuned for more. There will be Bust, more Two Little Mice. We got more draft prep shows before it's over. I'm really proud of us. We got 6 of these in the can already on March 8th. We've been making good progress trying to get these out so you can consume these, because really you want to have everything ready for next weekend and the following weekend. Those will be the 2 mega draft weekends right before opening day when we do Bozo Fest on the 25th.
Can't wait, man.
Can't wait. Love it.
Can't wait.
Why
Bart
won't
Scott.
you die?
I love doing the show, Mike. I love doing the show with you. Thank you for doing what you do here. What a show. What a good time to be alive. And the live chatters crushed it. All you folks. I mean, Jim Turner was here, Frank and CJ, and of course, F and Uncle T and Anthony, Star Platinum, Chris Miami. We got all kinds of regulars. People come and go in this life in the live chat. The ones that stay forever will be champions. Okay? Remember that. All right. We'll add more as it comes along. Follow Mike _Mike VA, MJ Govier, Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's, Probably Baseball, Big Gentle Ben, Sam Wershing, Fave Game Show host. Of course, Britton Allen, 2 T's, 2 L's. He's on spring break. Spring break. Time to hit the outro. Rumsfeld. Oh, I got rid of that one.
Nobody says woo around here except
Carlos Delgado.
Excellent choice. Too bad I got him 3 rounds ago.
You're still on the clock.
Oh, shit!
You gotta do something. Hideki Matsui.
You just took my whole outfield.
Sorry, Charlie.
What is this?
Debbie,
What the fuck is this?
it's our fantasy baseball draft. We said no wives.
Your fantasy what?
It's our draft. The fantasy baseball. I told you all about this. Got Matsui.